I am so excited to share with you the work of someone I discovered recently here on Substack. I love this platform for that reason. You can come across so many people doing really interesting things. Magdalena Ponurska is wonderful. Here she is. Hi, Magdalena.
Hi,
So
how are you?
happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm really excited to do this.
Thank you for having me. And first of all, I want to start with kudos to you for the courage to do a live. I know this is your first one, so congratulations on playing fully out and being on the court and having the courage to start.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is always a little nerve-wracking. It's funny because I taught for so many years, live in front of a group, but it's always different when you're on screen because I convey a lot of what I want to share with body language and movement, and you can't really do that. So, it's sort of limiting to do this. And yeah, anyway, thank you for that. I also got new windows in my kitchen. And I don't have coverings yet. So I'm full sun today. That's how we are. Um,
I love it. You're
so
full of sunshine. You are
yes,
glowing, and the best part about having you being so sunshiny is that for people like me in Michigan, where it's cold and gloomy, that's an extra bonus.
uh, yes. Well, I send some of that your way.
Thank you. We all need it.
Yes, absolutely. So this is my first live here on this platform, and what really inspired me to do this was you. I mean, I was so incredibly blown away by your journaling technique, and as someone who has been a journaler since age 11 and who has taught it in retreats around the world with my work as a yoga teacher. I know journaling is so powerful. I told my husband last night, journaling saved my life. We watched a movie, This Boy's Life by Tobias Wolff. Fantastic. The book is amazing, but it's hard, and people grow up in hard circumstances. And I kind of went into a funk, and I told my husband last night that journaling saved my life. But I wish I had
What
come
was his
across
response?
well, art sort of saved his life, so he gets
Okay.
it. We're both
So he was like,
painters.
keep going.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and he does, he totally respects it, like, in the
Yeah,
mornings, he's like, "Alright, I'm gonna leave you, to your journaling time now."
that's awesome.
But
Yeah.
I realized too that after so many years of whining on the page, that a lot of that was kind of reinforcing what was not right in the first place. And I wonder now sometimes about the wisdom of that. And your work has really helped me shift my view on why journaling is so powerful. So, I could introduce you. I could read you let me just do this. I want to just say that Magdalena calls herself an innovative strategist, a writer, a creator, an identity architect. And I would love to hear more about that. A neuroscience nerd, and a mother who rewired her life with a notebook and won't shut up about it. And hallelujah, thank you for not shutting up about it. And I did a program with her to learn this practice. And like I said, I've just been sort of blown away. So I would love for you to share a little bit about just how you came here to this practice. And yeah, and then we can dive into the what, why, and the how.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for having me. Welcome everyone that has joined us. We have 20 people on Kim's first live session. That is unheard of. So Kim, I just want to make sure that you are very proud of yourself, because
Thank
my
you.
first live, I think it was just like two people. So
Oh, wow,
that
I
is
didn't know that. Well, yeah, so thank you, everyone. Thank you for
yeah.
feeding my ego.
So thank you for joining us. It's so wonderful to see some of I recognize some of the names. I appreciate you being here. If there's something that that resonates with you, just put 3 exclamation marks in the chat, and we'll know that we are actually hitting the nail on the head, and that it resonates with you, and that you are seeing value for yourself. Because both Kim and I were both welcome, Marley. We're really dedicated to making sure that the 20 minutes that you spend with us today, that you get the most value out of this conversation, and then whoever is listening later on, same thing. We really want to make sure that that we add to your life, and that you can take something away for yourself from this life. So a little bit about me, and I love how Kim started and framed this conversation, because just like her, for me, it's writing that saved my life.
Mhm.
And my journey with writing was full of bumps and unforeseen um, steps forward and backwards. So I actually started writing. Good morning, Amy. It's so great to have
Oh, good morning, Amy Nickel, my dearest friend in the whole world.
So I started writing poetry in Polish when I was 14, 15. And that's how I started writing. And then I stopped when I shared my poetry with my ex boyfriend. There's a reason why he's an ex. And he said that my writing sucked. And it broke my heart on many different levels. And I stopped writing for a good 2 decades. And then how I found myself going back to writing was um, as a form of therapy. So I was in a hospital with my son. He was 14 at that time, and one of his lungs collapsed. And it was Easter. It was Easter Sunday, and we were driving to a CVS, like to grocery store, to buy a chocolate bunny. And he says, "Mom, I'm having a chest pain." And I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, is it possible that kids have heart attacks?
Oh.
I didn't know. I'm like, okay. He's like, okay, my left hand is going numb. I have chest pain. I'm like, okay, let's turn and go to the ER. And so so we did that. He's okay now, but we did spend a whole month in a hospital with him. And so that was that whole month I wrote every day, and it was way for me to actually process what I was experiencing. It helped me with my ability to support him. And I have this one really cute story. So I was just sitting in the hallway with my trusty journal,
Mhm.
and writing first. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's a dad that walks by, and he says, and he looks at me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Self therapy." He's like, "Oh, tell me more about it."
Yeah.
So we spent like next 30 minutes, comparing our notes, and sharing our journey. And then he walks away. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to go and get a journal and do exactly the same thing now."
Wow.
And to me, that was just, that was so sweet. And I was so, so happy that I was able to help him with that, and that he walked away with a journal and a way to process what he was experiencing in that
Yeah.
particular moment. So
Yeah.
so as I was as we so we were done, so a month in a hospital. And then I was like, okay, I've wrote every day for 30 days. I'm going to actually start publishing this. And I started publishing on Medium. And I will say my first articles, thoughts, prompts, whatever, were not that greatest, because my writing I knew 2.5 years ago, I knew how to write, but for corporate, for non-for-profit, how to write emails, but it was all in business settings.
Mm,
And writing on Medium or Substack is completely different because it's a completely different listening. And it took me a long time to understand what that means.
mm.
And I got to change my voice and read the room, aka Substack, differently. So I write differently for Substack and I write differently for LinkedIn because those are two different
Yeah.
rooms. But it took me a while. And so now when I go back and I look at some of my articles on Medium, I'm like, oh man, that is not good. and and the reason I'm sharing it is just start, right? Like the beginnings are going to be really tough. When you go back and you look at it, you might cringe, and that's okay. The most important part is just start writing, painting, drawing, whatever it is that creatively you are being pulled and called forth. Uh, and then the rest comes with practice and doing it, in my case, doing it every day. So I made a commitment to myself that I will write every single day, even when I don't feel like writing.
Mm.
And so
Yeah.
when what that looks like for me is that days that I don't feel like writing, or there were days where I was sick. I think I got the flu and it was like 3 days, 102 fever, miserable, and I'm like, I'm not breaking my strike. I'm just going to write like one word. That
Yeah.
was it. I was just like,
Yeah.
this sucks. Let's go back to sleep.
It
But that was
reinforces it
yeah,
reinforces your commitment to yourself and which increases your self-esteem and confidence.
confidence. Yes,
Mhm.
and I want to make this disclaimer. So this works for me. So I'm not saying you have to write, you have to paint, you have to do those things every day. Do what works for you.
Mhm.
Find things that actually work for you and actually make you happy. And then make the commitments to yourself. Don't make commitments to gurus. Even some of them are amazing and wonderful, but do it for you. I mean, that's my biggest takeaway. So if it resonates with you, put exclamation marks in the chat. So that's number one. And then I'm going to tie it to your original question of not only my journey with writing, but also my journey with future scripting and what it is and why do we do it. Thank you, Eder. um, and then we'll move to more practical tips. So as I was doing self therapy on paper and writing, and I'm so glad, Kim, you said you shared that when you were journaling and writing down I thoughts that were just coming to the surface, but they were not so positive. I call it breakup
Whining,
speak. Yeah, yeah.
whining.
Okay, so whining. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so I love the whining thoughts. Okay, um, and so that is so true because in the journaling writing world, there's a tendency to focus on, as Kim says, whining thoughts. Or then there's also the other focus on like just do a brain dump, which I'm a big fan of. But I do my my process for that is I brain dump for I give myself 90 seconds. And after 90 seconds is done, I'm done. I'm like, we're,
Mhm.
I've, hi, William. It's great to see you here. And so after that, I'm done, and I'm moving on. And so I love that you picked up on the pivot or the reframe from whining into setting your brain powerfully for the day, but also for the future. So, future scripting is number one, 20 minutes. So, I'm huge proponent as I talk, you guys will notice that I do a lot of things, and I give myself either 90 seconds or 20 minutes to do things because that forces my brain to
Yeah.
focus.
Mhm.
If I don't do that, my brain goes all over and I lose focus. So number one, 20 minutes. Number two is as you're getting ready for the preparing yourself for 20 minutes, take the 30 seconds, take the 90 seconds to brain dump and write whatever you need to offload from your brain. The laundry, the grocery, the cleaning, so you can come with very uh, fresh, focused brain and uh, thought patterns into this exercise. So the exercise is writing your um, writing your day in a life. um, you can pick 3 months. You can pick 6 months in the future. But the writing is happening in the present tense. That's number one. So present tense. Number two is including and involving all our senses. And number three is infusing it with emotions. So I will give you an example. I'm a huge, huge proponent of infusing it with as many senses as humanly possible. So for example, when I started doing it a year ago, but a year ago when I did my future script for who am I going to be on Substack, I wrote that it's Tuesday, 5:45 a.m. It's cold outside. I'm inside, wrapped in the blanket. I have coffee in my hand. The coffee is warm. I can smell it. The blanket is very fuzzy. I can hear the birds chirping outside because they are ready for spring. So infusing it with as many senses as you can. So smell, taste, sound, what you are touching, what are you wearing, how. So those are senses, and then the next layer is emotions. What am I feeling? I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling inspired. I feel gratitude. I feel incredibly creative. I feel so full of life because people are reading what I'm writing and they
Yeah.
are sending me emails saying, "Oh my God, you changed my life," or "Oh my
Mhm.
God, you won't believe what happened," or "This actually really really worked for me." And so just putting those sentences into that future script, that's for me made all the difference in the world because 6 months later that's exactly what was coming.
Wow.
I was getting those emails, I was getting those DMs, I was getting those IMs. It just blew my mind that I could actually write something on a piece of paper and then have people saying exactly those things. And I was
Mhm.
actually reading them. And as what was happening, I was taking print screen just for myself because I needed to prove for myself that it actually works.
Mhm.
Um, so
Like
just
a sign from the universe that
yeah, yeah.
you're on track. And I just wanna highlight that you went way into the detail of each emotion, not just you're feeling confident and happy and warmed by the thoughts, but that you went specifically into the types of thoughts and, the detail is important.
Yeah. So the detail makes all the difference in the world. And the reason why is because our reticular activation system looks for data points, filters everything out, but looks for the data points that you actually put on the paper, so that are in that script. And so my brain started actively looking for these data points. So the way I love explaining reticular activation system is when you think about the old radios, they had a knob and you could switch the knob to a particular channel.
Hmm.
And so when I explain RAS, I say, what you are writing right now and what you are putting on paper, you are turning this channel on, and your brain immediately start looking for those data points, and it turns into a channel called um, me as a writer on Substack. And here are the data points that are telling me how awesome I am, how successful I am, how my community is growing, how everyone is interacting. And what I will say about my community, and Kim is part of it, is that every single person in that community is the kindest, most supportive person I've
Mm.
ever met in my life. And I never ever had this experience online.
Mm. Yeah. Well, and part of that is because that's what you're putting out as well. And maybe you're finally giving yourself permission to put that out because you're identifying it.
Mhm. Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, it goes back to writing, because and I thank you for mentioning the permission part, because that's the other part of my work is working through on allowing and giving ourselves permission to make time for ourselves, to allow ourselves to be successful, to allow ourselves to attract people that are kind, supportive, wholehearted, that actually care about each other and cheer each other on. Like that's the like I get up from every morning and I'm so excited because I cannot wait to read what people are saying to each other. And because it's
Mm.
always infused with support, with kindness, with generosity. And I keep telling this to other people that are on platforms like on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where there's just so much competition and meanness and
Yeah.
all the negative things. And they just they can't believe me until I showed them the screen prints, and I'm like, look, here are people that are saying, good, you've done amazing job, not to me, to each other.
Wow.
um, and so that's why one of the things I love talking about to others about Substack. But I want to go back just to wrap it up, the future scripting. So
Hmm.
once you are done with the 20 minutes, and you have infused it with senses, you have written in the present tense. That's the most important part.
Hmm.
Making sure it's a present tense, not future tense, not not past tense, present. Um, Once you're done, uh, the only thing that you get to do is at the very end say to yourself and write, in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm going to take this one particular micro action. It doesn't have to be anything major. It, if all you get to do is put on your calendar 20 minutes of time for myself to create, that is the perfect, it's a micro action. You did it, it's on your calendar. It will remind you that you actually gave yourself permission to take this action.
I love it. Okay, so what I hear your steps are: pick a date in the future, write in the present tense, write with sensory input, write about your emotions in detail,
Mhm.
and then take one micro action at the end to confirm to make a commitment to yourself.
Yeah,
So 5 steps. And I love that. And I actually, this is me. I don't know how you feel about this, but I might add a 6th,
sure.
not to share it with anyone. I don't know what do you feel about that?
That is okay. No one ever asked me about that. So that's a good question. Um, I um I can see the pros and I can see the cons. So
Okay.
the pro of not sharing it is because then it makes it like your own commitment, secret spiritual commitment to myself. So that like
Mm,
I would find that very exciting.
mhm. Me
um,
too.
the flip side of that is by sharing with others, especially if you're an auditory learner, um, it actually helps your brain to anchor in your new way of being
By sharing it.
by sharing it. So,
Okay.
so I'm going to circle back to your original question. So maybe it depends on what kind of learner you are, because I think if
Mm,
you are visual learner, meaning we learn by writing and we remember things that are visual, then then our brain is primed to what we wrote and what we have in front of our eyes.
mm,
If you're an auditory learner, then I had some people's actually recording what they wrote and then listening to it in the car, listening as they are walking,
mm,
um, and integrating that.
mm,
And then for the kinesthetic learners, I would say, again, because as a kinesthetic learner, if I'm writing, my brain is already integrating it and uh, integrating that into my way of being. So then maybe it's more of a personal choice. So I know
mm.
it. So it was. So you have choices. How about that?
Yeah, maybe it just and maybe I could envision different future scripts being treated differently. I'm just thinking of, sometimes
Mhm,
it fritters away the energy if I start talking about a book too soon.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't share certain
Mhm.
things about a series of work that I'm
Yeah.
gonna do before I'm ready to, because I feel like then I get influenced by other people's opinions or by my own fear of, saying what I really wanna say.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, but I also hear your points as well. So I guess maybe it's a case by case basis and a person by person basis.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, goes back to do what works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a huge proponent of that. Pam asked, "Do you revisit what you've written?" So Pam, the answer is yes, I do. However, I give my brain couple of days to integrate and process. So I go back usually 24 or 48 hours after what I wrote. And then, as I'm reading, I might be adding even more details. Sometimes when I'm rereading, I will like add things like, "Today I'm wearing a lipstick that is pink," or
That's
"Today
important.
that is right," or "Today I'm wearing my lucky shoes." So yes, I do revisit. For the people that do the audio version, they would just then like add and say it out loud. And then for so some I'm the other thing that I want to highlight is the importance of doing it by hand. So
Yeah.
I have many people asking me, can I just type it up? And my answer is no,
Mhm.
unless it's a medical a medical need. So what happens when we do it by hand? There is a direct correlation between our brain and the neural pathways that are being created and writing it using pen pencil, and it's the beginning of creating new neural pathways. So when you the I I love explaining neural pathways like highways. So we're
Yeah.
building a new highway, and we are rewiring the old thoughts, and we are rewiring the old patterns and the old way of being. Uh, and it's so much easier to do it when you plant the seed and when you start with building the new neural pathway, aka the new highway, with writing by hand.
Yes, absolutely. I hear that one. I see a comment and a question from Kirsten. Amazed at how future scripting worked for me. There is the brain accessing more possibility, but I also think there is some magic involved when you put out in the world what you want. And yeah, I believe there is magic in it as well. Um, and she asked, what if you are in a liminal space and aren't quite sure what you want in the future? It looks like it could go in many directions. How do we do this without specificity?
Yeah, I love. Thank you. I love this question because I'm right now. I'm in the liminal space. So, uh,
We all are. Yeah.
so my old identity of an educator, is being transmuted into a new identity of into the corporate world,
Oh.
and and so it's a big liminal space, right? And so what I did for myself, it's actually so it's noticing, um, and bringing in the best and the things that I love the most from my identity of an educator into and integrating into the new identity that is getting created right now, uh, of a corporate person. and
Mm.
and then doing it in writing, it's so magical. It's so different than when I have conversations and I talk to my friends and colleagues and clients about the identity transformation and transmutation, versus if I write it on paper and I use the future script, uh, and allow myself to play,
Mhm.
um, and speculate, then things open up and show up that I could never ever thought about or have been able to see.
Mm.
Um, and I'm always amazed, again, like 24, 48 hours later, someone will say something, and I have this aha moment that says, oh, I just wrote about it
Right.
in my future script, and yes, and I never thought about it this way, and oh my god, what an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what I'm hearing is that magic and play are really part of this. This is not just about disciplined writing every day
Oh
and
god, yeah, yeah.
yourself show up. It's play and possibility and allowing for new things to arise that you couldn't have predicted.
Yeah, yeah. So my words for 2026 is, um, childlike wonder. So bringing that childlike wonder into the future scripting, writing, journaling, whatever I do, it's bringing that with me and applying it and allowing myself and giving myself permission to play.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I love that you have a word of the year. I also have one. It is simplicity. I wonder, does anyone else have a word of the year? And if you do, let know. What is your word of the year?
Oh, I love it. Perfect.
And so, while people are doing that, if they choose to do that, so there is no real specific prompt then. The prompt is basically to go through the 5 steps for
Mhm.
this practice. And if people want to go deeper into this practice with you, how might they do that?
Yep. You can find me on Substack under magdalenaponurska.com or Courage to Create. Uh,
Courage to create.
Courage to Create. And Patty just wrote the word courage.
Courage.
So look
There
at.
we go. And brave from Pam. I love it.
Yeah, perfect. Those are some really great words
Mhm.
for 2026. So you can find me on Substack, and you can always send me send a message. I respond to all the messages, all the comments, and I'm always happy and thrilled and open to working with anyone that is interested in taking their scripting skills to the next level, along
Mhm.
with building or creating, rewiring identities,
Yeah,
and being in the liminal spaces of different identities that we get to have on daily basis.
yeah, yeah. So I want to thank everyone for showing up today and for, yeah, for being here and giving me the courage to create a Substack Live. And maybe this will be the beginning of a series of sharing people's work that are what I feel important and relevant growing into our creative selves. My own mission is helping people discover the creative spark and awakening to the depth and wisdom and creativity that we all have inside. God knows the world needs it. Wow, I never used that word, God, and it just came out. There we go. Um, we're in this place right now where we need to tap into something a little bit deeper than what we've been taught to tap into. And yeah, something like this, you used words like magic and create and courage here. And, this is how we make change. So, yeah, thank you everyone for showing. And especially thank you, Magdalena. You've been a beacon and a bright light for the past few months since I discovered you here. And yeah, look forward to working with your practice further and following what you do next.
Thank you so
So
much for having me. Thank you for the courage to have me on your first live. Congratulations! You got 48 people on here, which is again magic and miracles. And I feel very honored and humbled to be with you and do this with you. And for anyone that is watching the replay, again, thank you for being part of the Courage to Create community. Thank you for being part of the Art of Awakening community. And we both hope that you get the spark of creation, awakening, and courage, and that you have an amazing and very empowered life. Thank you, Pam. It was nice seeing
thank you,
you.
Pam. Yes. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Amy, for showing up, my dearest friend. Love you. And I want to say to everyone, if you do the practice, or rather, when you do the practice, whether you're watching this live or on replay, leave a comment for us on your micro action that you're going to take, or a word of the year,
Mm.
or some insight into your future script that you learned. we would
I
love
love
to
it.
hear from you about that.
Yep. Perfect. I love it. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.